Let's talk about something that happens every single time you get behind the wheel. You're in a constant invisible struggle, a battle against forces you can't see, but you can definitely feel. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden physics of vertical forces and how they secretly control your car's grip, its handling, and ultimately, your safety.
You know that feeling, right? You're cruising along, you go over the crest of a hill, and for just a split second, your stomach does a little flip, and the car feels, well, it feels almost weightless. I'm willing to bet every single driver listening has felt that exact sensation.
And here's the thing, it is not just in your head. That little floaty feeling is a massive clue that something really important is happening between your tires and the road. It's a real-deal physics event playing out in high speed.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This brings us to the heart of the matter, this invisible battle for control that is happening every second you're on the move. It's a non-stop fight for grip, and the winner is decided by these unseen vertical forces we're talking about.
So that floaty feeling, it's not just some weird little sensation you can ignore. It's a warning light. It's a moment where the very physics keeping your car glued to the pavement are fundamentally changing, and that directly impacts your ability to steer, to brake, and to stay in command.
So what's actually causing this? Well, the culprit has a name, vertical forces. And you know what? Understanding them is the absolute key to understanding how you can lose control of your car in the blink of an eye.
To put it as simply as possible, a vertical force is any force that's pushing your car either up or down. Now, when that force pushes down with gravity, that's great. But when it pushes up against gravity, that's when you're in trouble. It reduces the downward pressure of your tires, and less pressure means less connection.
And you won't believe how fast this all happens. It's a chain reaction, and it is lightning fast. First, a sudden change in vertical force, like hitting a bump. Boom. The pressure on your tires immediately drops. In that same instant, your grip weakens. And the result? Your risk of going into a slide just shot through the roof. This all happens in a fraction of a second.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to meet the four main characters in this drama. Think of them as the key players in this constant tug-of-war for control of your car.
First up, the most obvious one, your car's weight. This is just good old gravity, the force that's constantly pulling your car down onto the road. Think of it as the anchor. It's what creates your baseline, fundamental grip to begin with.
But fighting against that anchor is the air itself. I know, it sounds kind of weird, but the air flowing over and under your car creates powerful forces. We're talking about lift and downforce, and they have a huge impact on your stability, even at normal highway speeds. And this is where it gets really cool. On a regular car, the airflow over the body can actually create a bit of lift, literally trying to pick the car up and reducing that precious downward pressure. This is exactly why race cars have those insane wings. They aren't just for looks. They flip the script and use the air to create downforce, literally slamming the car onto the track for a massive increase in grip. Next up, we have the force that really decides everything, the road surface. Now, physicists call it the normal force, but you can just think of it as your grip meter. It tells you, at any given moment, the absolute maximum amount of grip you have to work with for turning or braking. If that number drops, your control drops, period. And who's the referee in this whole chaotic match? That would be your suspension. Its entire job is to manage this mess, to absorb the bumps, dampen the forces, and do whatever it takes to keep those tires pressed firmly against the pavement. A worn-out suspension isn't just a bumpy ride. It's like a bad ref that lets your tires bounce, creating tiny but absolutely critical moments of zero grip.
Okay, so let's bring this out of the world of physics and into your daily commute. This isn't just for race car drivers. This stuff happens to all of us. Let's look at some of the most common situations that cause you to lose that precious grip. These are probably pretty familiar. Hitting a sharp bump or a pothole at speed can literally launch a wheel into the air. Going through even a shallow dip in the road can create that same weightless, floaty feeling. And of course, there's the classic hydroplaning, where your tires are basically water skiing on a layer of water, completely cut off from the road surface.
All right, that's the science lesson. But what does this actually mean for you, the person sitting in the driver's seat? How can you use this knowledge to become a safer, more intuitive driver? This is where it gets really good. Because here's the big takeaway. Understanding these forces is like gaining a superpower. It lets you shift from being a reactive driver who just responds to what the car does to a proactive driver who anticipates what's about to happen.
This right here just nails it. Your grip is not guaranteed. It's not some fixed number. It is constantly, dynamically changing every single moment you're driving. Once you really, truly get that in your head, it changes everything.
And here's the perfect real-world application. You see a crest in the road coming up. The old you might just drive over it. The new you, who understands these forces, knows the car is about to get light. So what do? You brake a little earlier. You make your inputs a little smoother. You become proactive because you understand what the car is about to experience.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Now that you know how much a simple dip in the road can mess with your car's connection to the world, what other invisible forces are at play out there? Start paying attention on your next drive. I promise, it might just change the way you see the road forever.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.